5:45 p.m., which means it's time for BCTV's weekly media roundup, 5:45 Live. I'm Abby Sherlock.
And I'm Roland Boyden. On deck tonight, we'll get you new details in Monday's double bank robbery, all the latest from VTrans on the Elliot Streets and I-91 bridges, and we'll take you live to the retirement party of longtime Brooks Memorial Library Director Jerry Carbone.
That and plenty more, all just in 15 minutes, so stick with us. Welcome back to this December 18th, 2015 edition of 5:45 Live. That's a brief look at some of downtown Brattleboro's exquisite holiday decorations as we near the peak of the holiday season here, which not only means lots of holiday-themed programming around town, but also a wealth of it on BCTV in the coming weeks, something we'll get back to a little later on, but first, into the headlines. And with that, we'll start with this week's double dose of bank robberies, as this Monday, the People's United Bank branches in both Wilmington and Brattleboro were robbed, starting Monday morning in Wilmington when a man in a gray hooded sweatshirt and sunglasses demanded money by slipping the teller a bomb threat note. The same method was later employed at the same day at the Brattleboro branch of the People's United on Main Street, this time by a female perpetrator who is described in the official police press release as, quote, a white female about 5 feet 5 inches tall, slender build, wearing a long pink t-shirt, black gloves, black sneakers with a white sole, carrying a bag, and very long black hair, which may have been a wig. The female possibly got into a newer model maroon Cadillac sedan, possibly with New York plates.
We'll get you more details on that story as best we can as they are revealed, but in the meantime, we'll move on in the headlines here. Vermont Governor Peter Shumlin tied the knot this week, marrying Katie Hunt, described on the governor's own Facebook page as his longtime partner, a post that was accompanied by this photo taken during the deliberately small ceremony. The couple first announced their engagement last fall, but did not make public when or where they intended to be wed. They were married by Shumlin's sister-in-law and Putney resident, Evie Lovett.
Moving on, tonight residents from all across the community are already gathered at Brooks Memorial Library to celebrate the career of longtime Library Director Jerry Carbone, who has worked at Brooks for more than 30 years, nearly 25 of that as director. Carbone announced earlier this year his plans to retire in December, but due to scheduling conflicts with the incoming director, Star Electronica, who won't officially start until late January, Carbone will, for the next 6 weeks, play the part of interim director, a fact already confirmed in his updated email signature. For more on the celebrations going on just down the street from us, we turn to BCTV producer Maria Dominguez, who gathered this footage just minutes ago.
Very humbled and overwhelmed by the outpouring, and it's a transition, and I've had a great run here at the library for the last 37 years. And Star Electronica will be the new library director. She'll be taking over on January 19th. And great times are ahead for Brattleboro and the Brattleboro Library.
Thanks to Maria for getting that footage from the open house and retirement party for Jerry Carbone going on at Brooks Memorial Library, and it's still going on as we speak, so still time to get down there. All right, we're going to move on in the headlines now. For anyone who's had to traverse the now single-lane Elliot Street Bridge at the corner of Flat Elliot and Williams Streets, it's a sketchy proposition at best. But good news is on the way for beleaguered residents tired of playing the driving equivalent of Russian roulette every time they try and cross the bridge. The state has taken it upon themselves to pay for the bridge's repairs. Repairs that aren't slated to commence until summer 2016, but with much design work ahead, members of VTrans, along with the town's own Department of Public Works, were in town to present their plans before the Select Board at their regular meeting this week.
The bridge itself is considered historic, and oftentimes when we mitigate, when we take out a historic asset, is oftentimes we look for different ways to mitigate. So we're recommending a deck replacement here. We're going to do it conventionally. We're going to improve the existing bridge width as much as we can.
That clip taken as part of the Brattleboro Select Board meeting from this past Tuesday, which you can find at the Select Board landing page, all at brattleboro.tv.org, and it'll show all this coming week. 2 clicks up the dial on our government and education sister channel, Channel 10. Get all the details on that Elliot St Bridge proposal from VTrans, and as noted, the town will be on the hook for roughly $15,000 of the project's total bill.
Moving on, this morning marked another round of the now popular Coffee with a Cop series as area residents gathered this time at the Restless Rooster Cafe on Elliott Street to talk casually with local law enforcement about their concerns around the community.
This is Coffee with a Cop. We've been here before, but try to change it up in town, try the Restless Rooster here, and hopefully we have a good turnout.
Thanks to 545 Live News specialist James Bansleben for getting that Coffee with the Cop footage just this morning and rushing the SD card over here to us so we could show you a clip as well. Now, speaking of James, he's been awfully busy this week producing programming for BCTV, including the American Legion Christmas concert, which we'll come back to when we talk in a moment about BCTV's wealth of seasonal programming. But he's also produced a short 15-minute special on the new Jaws of Life training exercise undertaken last weekend by members of the Brattleboro Fire Department as they honed their emergency rescue skills with this specialty tool. You can see the full 15-minute video from James about that Jaws of Life training exercise. It'll show right here on Comcast Channel 8 next week, and it's available to stream at brattleboro.tv.org. All right, time to move on in the headlines here. This Monday, top officials from the FDA, as well as Vermont's own Department of Agriculture and Food Safety, were on hand at the Latches Theater to answer the questions of area residents who, according to the Commons' Mike Fair, traveled from at least 6 surrounding states to try and make sense of some of the drastic changes in laws around food production, safety, and marketing, as the feds attempt to implement new food safety rules that will fit the diverse needs of New England farmers and food manufacturers. This is all a backdoor way of getting into our Commons News Report, which comes with a split screen here, in which the aforementioned article from Mike Fair entitled "Feds Bring New Food Rules to Brattleboro, Wide-Ranging Impacts of the Food Safety Modernization Act Discussed, officials promised a large-scale education effort to help food producers understand and comply with the new rules." That is quite a subtitle. Goes on to detail New England's influence over the Fed's new laws, with the FDA's Deputy Commissioner for Foods and Veterinary Medicine, Mike Taylor, telling those present at the Latches on Monday that one of the lessons the feds learned from their 2013 New England tour was just how truly diverse the food system was, with Taylor promising that in implementing the new food safety rules, protecting the diversity will be a central theme of their work, going on to say, quote, "It has influenced the way in which we've written these regulations so that they're flexible and they're adaptable to diverse settings." Now, for more on this subject, you can find the full article from Mike Fair at the Commons' own website, commonsnews.org, or find this article on the front page of their most recent hard copy issue, which is still available to pick up for free at newsstands all around town.
All right, with that, it's time to launch into our BCTV video calendar, which is all sponsored by the Brattleboro Savings and Loan, whose generous contributions to BCTV each year help fund our weekly look at upcoming events. And we'll start by talking about Orchard Street Pottery's 4th annual Solstice and Second Sale. That's this coming Sunday from 12 to 5 p.m. on Orchard Street, no less. 658 Orchard Street to be exact, right here in Brattleboro.
Next up, with the holidays close at hand, we've got a series of seasonal closings to check in with now. Trash and recycling, along with composting, will not be affected this year, either by the Christmas or the New Year holidays. Now, unlike many years past, collection will take place on a normal schedule all through those holiday weeks. But all Town of Brattleboro offices, along with Brooks Memorial Library, will close at 12 noon on Thursday, December 24th, and be closed on Friday on Christmas, the 25th. They'll also be closed New Year's, so that's Friday, January 1st. with the exception, of course, of emergency services. Parking is free at all metered spaces, starting at noon on December 24th and running through Christmas. It'll also be free on Friday on New Year's Day. But regular enforcement will resume after that.
Few things to wrap up here, including a look at the weekend weather courtesy of the high school's morning news advisory broadcast crew, BUHS TV. What's the weekend's weather look like?
These next few days are going to be pretty decent. I mean, like, today is supposed to be a little rainy, you know, no big deal. And then Monday it's going to be a little rainy. But the rest of the week is going to be pretty mild with some sun, maybe a little bit of clouds. But, yeah, these temperatures are pretty nice for this time of year. Back to the desk.
You can see more from BUHS TV than just their weather when they show their full episodes at shows in just a matter of minutes right after this broadcast at 5:45 live at 6 p.m. right here on BCTV Channel 8. And of course, you can find all the episodes from this past semester, and they'll be getting ready for a new semester in the coming year as well. That's all at brattleboro.tv.org/BUHS-TV. All right, we're going to close out here, but I want to just quickly remind you that there's a whole series of Christmas programming and seasonal programming of all kinds coming up on BCTV in the coming week to celebrate the holiday. That's all put together by BCTV content manager Jeff Mastrioni, who's been compiling all sorts of seasonal and Christmas footage. You can find the complete schedule at brattleboro.tv.org as well, where it's all clickable, so you can find the links for videos, see when it's going to play. And then he'll be putting together a best of 2015 with shows from all throughout the year to take us into the new year. Take a look at some of our most popular episodes of series, as well as concerts, musical performances, and things like that. It's all going to show both here on Channel 8 and on Channel 10 as well. It'll be worth checking out. We'll be back next Wednesday for a slightly truncated pre-holiday early edition of 5:45 Live, but it will be at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time this coming Wednesday. You can check in with us then on BCTV Channel 8, and of course find 5:45 Live at BCTV's website, brattleboro.tv.org. All right, that's enough talking here. We'll turn it back over to you. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you next time.
Happy holidays from the Brattleboro Recreation and Parks Department.
Hi, I'm Steve Barrett, Director of Public Works. I'm wishing you a happy holidays and hope you have safe travels.
This is Captain Mark Kerrigan with the Brattleboro Police Department. Keep your house locked up. Property crimes of all type increase this time of year. Thank you for watching and have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas from the Brattleboro Fire Department.
Happy holidays from the town of Brattleboro.